Hey there, Wargamers, Justin Aaron Painter here, and you guys are tuning in for this week's video blog. I'd like to start off this week's video blog by giving a big shout out to my Patreon supporters. I could not be doing this without your support, and I really do appreciate it. It's helping me to keep the content flowing. And because of Clan Wolf's amazing contribution, I've gone ahead and scheduled a filming session with Bob, which has actually already happened at the time I filmed this. We may or may not have filmed a battle report, and it'll be the first battle report that goes up because of you guys, the Patreon supporters, and it'll hit Patreon first, and then it'll go up on YouTube for everyone else to enjoy. So not only are you guys helping support me, your Patreon patronage, sounds redundant, as helping to bring content to everyone else as well. So again, big shout out, thank you. Also big thank you to Bob, which is Lord17 from Twitchland, who came out and played against my Iron Warriors with his Space Wolves, and hopefully in some future videos you'll get to see him bring his Space Wolves and or his Eldar against my Iron Warriors and Archangels again, and we'll see what we can do. Moving forward with the battle reports, I'd like to try and get some other games in. I'd like to try and do some Infinity if I can find anyone who wants to do it. Some Legion at some point. Maybe even try and get some Kill Team, and ultimately at some point try and do some Battletech. All of these are really going to be dependent on getting models painted, and having people to play with. Not necessarily in that order. I guess I kind of got to have models, got them painted, and then have someone to play with. So I guess maybe it should be in that order, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of hurdles there. If anyone out there that's watching this is interested in helping out with army or product acquisition for gameplay purposes for streaming and videos, let me know. I know everyone out there would love to have help with getting models and armies painted, but if you're interested in helping me get a little army going so you can see some additional armies and stuff in battle reports, I'm not opposed to the idea of working out some type of agreement or deal. We have mentioned this in the past for getting kind of studio armies for Death Threat Designs, and the only person who took us up on that was Clan Wolf, and he sent me some painted Necrons in exchange for some terrain. I'll have to supplement those and add some more on to make it a full army. I don't know when that'll happen, but there is an opportunity out there. And if you are interested in some terrain in exchange for a painted army, or an army that is like new in the box, something like that, that could definitely happen. That would be going through the DRD channel, but I would be doing everything with the models anyway. So if that's something you're interested in, if you're a content creator, you're an artist, and you want some shout outs, you're going to work out a deal, get in touch with me. You can email me at justin@deaththreatdesigns.com, or you can hit me up on Twitch, on Facebook, Discord, or just tag me in a post in the Facebook page. On the note of Patreon supporters, though, not to eclipse Clan Wolf, he was my first large contribution to Patreon, but Wheels came in hot, and he saw my highest level tier, and he was like, I gotta have that. Got a picture of Dorn on it, says War Master, which Dorn wasn't, but he could have made a good one, and he was like, yo, I want to help you do what you do. I hope the support helps. And he hit that button, and he is my #1 supporter over on Patreon. He's been my #1 subscriber on Twitch because he's been a ride or die, right up there with the likes of Clan Wolf and Daff and Javasuko, but he is the #1. I think he's been subbed on Twitch for 25 or 26 months. But because of his contribution on Patreon, I'm now going to be trying to do either another battle report or a tutorial. I know the goal on Patreon said tutorial, but if I can't get the stuff in line to be able to do that sooner rather than later, I will try and at least get some type of game up so there is another video that's funded by Patreon patrons for you guys to consume. And for him, he might be more interested in a battle report than painting anyway, but I do want to make sure we get a good mix if I can. And on that note of getting a mix of content, I'm going to be trying to do some more unboxing and review videos in the future if I can. I did 2 for DRD recently for the same product. I did an unboxing and a review video for the no-name brand compressor from spraygunner.com. If you guys have not seen those videos yet, I'm going to drop some links down below. I encourage you guys to check them out. Hit that like button on the videos, drop some comments, and let me know what you think. Ask questions about the product. That really would help. I'm really hoping that they may consider sending me a couple of other products to review and really put to the test, and I don't want to mention what they were in the video, but the ones that are on the table would be oh so sweet to have access to, so hoping that works out. If it doesn't, at least I did try. I do have a couple of other maybe sponsorship, air quote, type opportunities in the pipeline for Twitch and YouTube stuff. guys that might be interested in sending me some products to review, use maybe an affiliate code or two to provide a discount for you guys for checking out the videos and things of that nature. So got some awesome things I'm going to be trying to do, and if there's something you would like to see me do a review on or tutorial with, let me know. I'll check it out. I never would have thought to check out spraygunner.com until someone from Twitch was like, hey, you're looking for some airbrush equipment, maybe a sponsorship, email them. You know, let them say no to you. Don't say no to yourself. And on that note, with the whole make them say no to you, don't say no to yourself, if it's not up already, there is a video coming up that is my first T.A.P talk, and it is about fear, paralytic fear. And that whole statement of make them say no, don't say no to yourself, is absolutely true. That's the same type of thing that I'll be discussing in that video, where it's very informal, kind of like these, where I just ramble about something. But that's a good segue, and encourage you guys to check out that video, and hopefully it'll hit home with some of you and motivate you to get painted. But with all those things being said, you're probably interested in what model stuff that I've been doing this week. I've done some battle reports, I've done some videos for Death Through Designs, we talked about Patreons and shout outs for all you awesome people and things I want to be doing in the future. But what have I painted this week? Well, still slaving away on them Blood Angels. Damn you wheels! And still painting gold on them. Double damn! And they're not as close to done as I would like. And we've also got Captain Derpy from this past Sunday's Hobby Hangout stream. And if you guys aren't checking me out on Twitch, you should. Twitch.tv/ampservices. And if you want to have some of your models showcased during the stream, check me out on Sunday nights after 6:30, 7-ish p.m. Eastern Standard. I'll be painting something usually new to me, sort of, in a speed painting kind of format. And currently, whatever I'm working on will end up going in a giveaway box. But during that stream, I do take some time to showcase what you guys, the community, have been working on, or what games you've been playing. And it's a perfect time for you guys to get your stuff out on the internet, broadcast, and get feedback, or just show it off. Maybe you're not worried about someone telling you what you could do to improve or suggesting techniques. Maybe you just want to show the damn thing. We had a Blood Raven showcased on Sunday night that, whew, I lost my mind. That dude is stupid good, and I'm humbled that he's even watching my stream, because I honestly don't know what he's learning from me, but maybe if he enjoys the positive message I'm putting out, I'm doing something right. Now, on that note, I'll at least show you some of the minis, even though I haven't been getting a lot of hobby progress. Did I mention I worked on some Legion? I worked on a little bit of Legion. Alright, so for the Blood Angels, woo! Not much here. I haven't done a whole lot of work on the infantry. I've been spending a lot of time working on these two guys, and I'm reasonably happy with their current state. The Contemptor looks pretty good. I think that is pretty much where he's going to stay gold-wise. I still got to do all the silver bits and blood drop details, lenses, the small stuff, but he is really close to being done. And earlier this week on stream, I was working a little bit on applying the silvers on this, but I had to end the stream early because we had a semi-emergency that I had to take care of at work, so I had to go in 2 hours early. So I didn't get as much done on this as I wanted to, but I've had a blast working on this miniature. I kind of cast aside some fears and some anxiety and worries and just pushed it. Tried something new, and it really helps when I'm working for Wheels, because not only is he a close friend of mine, but he started out as a commissioned client, and any of you guys who have ever had me do something for you, you'll know I am devastatingly worried about letting someone down. I never want to let you down. I don't want you to think that you didn't get what you paid for, or what I painted was crap. So I dealt with that for a long time with Wheels, and then over the years, it has become more and more apparent that he is just a super chill dude. Most of the time doesn't care, and if the model looks cool, he's usually pretty happy. Like, very rarely, if any time with me, has he ever been like, yo, fix this. It's usually like, you did more than I wanted, thank you. You know, these other guys I've, done commission stuff with haven't always done what they said they would, and you always go above and beyond, and that's what I try to do. But on this model, I put aside some of those fears because I was still worried about it, and I tried some new things. And namely, I tried really hard to work on the gradients and transitions on the gold. And hopefully it shows through on the camera pretty well here, but you can see on the Contemptor, he doesn't look bad. The gold looks reasonably good, but because he had all these large kind of square-shaped or rectangular-shaped panels, I came in with a wash mix with Agrax and Snakebite leather, thinned down with some glaze medium, and really pulled that and tried to kind of glaze, I suppose, or like wash sort of, to get these gradients and transitions. Then I came back in with gold and did some kind of feathering with multiple different layers of it and edge highlighting to really push that transition. So you can see here, transitioning into gold, it gets brighter and brighter until the peak kind of right there. And then I put that really bright edge highlight, and I did some light scratches because I thought, hey, this will look cool if this gold's got scratches or maybe glints of light catching. That'll be really super dope. So this guy's been a labor of love, and from his Blood Angel project he sent me, hands down, probably my favorite model outside of Sanguinius. I don't count Sanguinius because he's in a different league. But compared to all the Terminators and such he sent in characters, this guy's my favorite. I love a good Leviathan. Really hoping to get the new Dark Angels Leviathan or Contemptor for Christmas from the family. Because they're really expensive, I don't know if it's going to happen, and I'm really reluctant to do any like personal stream goals, so I might have to wait. But I am hopeful. Family Santa Claus person, if you're out there, and there's a Dark Angels Contemptor / Leviathan Dreadnought in my stocking this year, I will hobby love you. Long time. Anyways, with that stupid intermission, let's get back to the models. So as I was saying, this guy is super dope. I really like him, and that's about as far as I've really gotten on the Blood Angel this week. Because the stream got cut short on Monday, which is when I work on commission stuff, and then Tuesday I had to go do some filming. I got a little bit delayed, but as of filming this, I have got at least another stream or two this week, or paint sessions with this before the end of the week. So hopefully we'll get some hobby progress. I would like to get the project done for Wheels before Christmas. That would be my goal. And then hopefully set aside some time to work on some personal models. I need to get my Legion done, but I've got the itch to work on some Dark Angel models. I really do. Like I was saying just a second ago in my stupid plea for hobby goodness for the holiday gifting season, I'm really hoping that I can get a hold of some new Dreadies so that I can use them on the tabletop and just paint them. I think that would be dope. In the battle report with Bob, I used a double Butcher Cannon Array Leviathan for my Iron Warriors, and I was really concerned because he's so many points, but one of the things I struggle with my Iron Warriors is standard Space Marines. Intercessors, Primaris, all that stuff with 2 wounds are so good. Butcher Cannon Arrays do real good. They do work with that 2 damage, and Leviathans also look super sexy, so wouldn't mind getting some extra love and support for the First Legion, but if not, I don't mind waiting. It's I got hobby patience at this point. So, but other stuff that I worked on this week. I got a box of goodness. Whoop. I did reach out to New Type HQ. I think it's newtypehq.com. Whatever the website was. I was hoping they might want to sponsor the stream. It doesn't seem like they're super interested because we're a little bit small. But I tried. You can't get a guess if you don't risk to know. It is what it is. And then, as I said before, if you haven't seen it already, we've got a review video of the air compressor. Helps if I turn it the right way. From spraygunner.com, and that video I'll put a link in the description below. That's up on the DRD YouTube page. So, anyways, things that I worked on this week. When I did the filming for the review video for the no-name brand air compressor, I took some time to lay down base coats on all these guys. So I did a primer, and then gray into white transition, and then I came in with some of the, I think it's Apothecary White, the new contrast paint. I came in and hit all these with Apothecary White. I'm not 100% happy with the way these look, but for the time invested, it's reasonably okay. I freaking struggle doing badge painting. I don't like painting huge amounts of minis because I don't get to put all the detail on them, and then I also chose to do an army of white crap. Like, they're all white and they speckle, and it's a pain in the ass to airbrush. I chose this, and then I want to do it fast, which means I don't want to go back and hand paint all this crap. So they're not going to look as good as I want. But when I'm staring down the barrel of 30 models or whatever, and I need to get more, and then I got all these other models that need to get painted, at some point I need to be like, these handful of elite models and HQs can look super dope, but the grunt infantry, just get it done already, Justin. Finish those models and make them look pretty good. Stop stressing over it. That's what I'm trying to do. So, trying to put on a smiley face and pretend at least that I'm super happy with it. But with that being said, I am reasonably happy with the way that the contrast paint works on these. I do think it's really interesting, and for me, with this particular paint, the Apothecary White, it functions less like a white and more like a gray wash, right? Because these guys were gray at the bottom, you can see that, and then transition into white at the top, and then you put that wash, or that not wash, the contrast paint across the top, it kind of pulls it all together. There's some pooling I wasn't super happy with, but when you're batch painting a whole box of models, you don't always get to watch every guy as closely as you would like. Some of them have transitions that are a little speckly, some don't, but I think for something that'll probably be above tabletop standard when they're done, I'm really happy. And like being able to see like this white down here or light gray is really bright, and then this leg over here is that dark gray. You get these subtle tones and transitions that some people don't notice, and that's what I was going for. If I had to do it again, I would have sprayed them all white and then hit them from the underside with the gray, because the gray would have had better coverage and would have covered some of that speckle, and I would have been a lot happier with the transitions. One thing I wasn't happy with is I chose to do a blue contrast over the stupid bark speeders. I'm not 100% sold on that. At this point, I'm probably just going to deal with it, do some weathering, do a couple edge highlights, get the maroon on there. I think once I put the red maroon on there, it's really going to break the bikes up. I just didn't want them to be the same color as the driver and the gunner, like, because then I think it would look stupid. So I'll come in, I'll do that. I'll do all the silver bits and black bits, and I think it'll look reasonably pretty okay. I hope that's my goal. But I think the highlight of what has gotten me excited for these models was actually Obi-Wan. So I came in and did some layering or glazing, or I guess not layering, I guess it's more glazing, and some edge highlights on the white here to try and blend the transition in a bit better, and you'll get that like gray into white, and then as you rotate, boom, quick drop into that gray. And then over here you got, because this is a hard drop and this one's kind of got light hitting this direction, you got a little bit darker and then light hitting from this side, hitting that. So light, dark, because this light source is coming from this way. And then, got some here and here, and it transitions. On the tops of his arms, it's brighter than the bottom. So coming in with a little bit of really thin down, like white as a glaze, to try and blend it up, and then doing the highlights on it actually works pretty good. I'm not going to do it on all these. It's just too many models to have to do that crap on. It's way too much. But it is doable. If you were painting white and you want to do a detail mini, you could do the airbrush. You could come in with that contrast paint to really put it all together. Then you can glaze and or just go straight into an edge highlight. I think going straight into a white edge highlight's not terrible. That will probably happen on these, or at least they'll get some quick highlights. But it's Obi-Wan. I wanted him to stand out. His little saber was already notched on top of his hand when I started working, so there's a crazy shadow on his hand. So that saber's probably just going to stay on top of his hand the way it is. I think it's supposed to be maybe below or up a little bit like that. I'm not sure, but it looks reasonably straight. I'll just leave it propped, less likely to get broke or bent that way, and I think that's fine. This has been my second kind of test with a couple of contrast paints. I've tinkered with snakebite leather a little bit. I did a little bit on the Leviathan for some transitions or shadow effects on his gold with the snakebite leather mix. I used a little bit on one of the staffs for one of my demons for my chaos stuff, which was pretty cool. And then this is the first large-scale thing I've done with any of the paints, which was the Apothecary White. So that turned out reasonably well. I'm really excited about Rex coming out for this and for future expansions for Legion. I really wanted to take off. I really hope to find some people to play with. And ultimately, I'd like to be filming some more battle reports, so hopefully we'll get some more locals that play the game. And maybe you guys on Patreon and YouTube will enjoy seeing me do it. And hopefully, if things continue going the way they are on Patreon and Twitch and with work, I really want to get my own dedicated streaming, filming space. Basically a 2-bedroom apartment. I'm about halfway to that goal on Patreon right now, and if I can get a 2-bedroom apartment, the larger of the 2 rooms is going to have a large table on it for filming purposes. It'll have my desk in there for live streaming and painting, and then we'll have some artwork and stuff on the walls, which I already have. I'll get some display cases and really have a nice backdrop for when I'm filming, so I don't have to have this crazy green screen. And then I'll be able to film some more battle reports, and maybe if I can get continue expanding, getting some equipment, maybe do some live stream battle reports. I think that would be a lot of fun. So more of the story is on that front Gotta have goals, gotta push for them, and that's what I'm trying to do. So, but before we wrap up today, I do have one more mini to show you guys, and you may or may not approve. I don't approve so much, but I'm going to show you because it is what it is. I painted it. And the mini I'm going to show you is, that was a really terrible drum roll, is this. This is call sign dumpster fire. I wanted to paint something new on Sunday, so I decided to pick a Battletech mech. I picked one that's older than me. I'm 32. This model was stamped in 1986. This model is 33. It's old for a mini. It's real old. And I don't want to be a guy that claims his tools and the medium he's working with, so I'll go 60-40. 60% my fault as artist, 40% this model is just bad looking. A lot of the Atlases honestly look kind of derpy, but comparing like the Atlas to like the Leviathan for where I can cram detail, it's kind of not even close. And not only that, like even comparing like a standard Space Marine bro that is a little bit shorter, it's just he's got more detail packed in, more things I can paint, and I'm not a freehand artist, you know, so like having the details to paint is really good for me because I can bring those to life a lot better than all these flat surfaces. That said, I did try out a new paint. I tried out the Mr. Hobby oil wash, and in hindsight, this guy was much more vibrant and bright before the wash. I should have probably hit him with a gloss varnish, then hit him with the wash, then used Q-tips to clean up, then matte varnished, and then I think we would have had better gradients, better color down in the recesses without discoloring the whole model. So he's a little bit dark now compared to what he used to be, but he is a completed model. I am proud that I finished something in one stream, finally, and one of you lucky YouTubers out there that is into Battletech may one day get to own call sign dumpster fire, the pilot of the Bloodstripe Atlas. Who you calling dumpster fire? Don't make me get my lance mates, street sweeper and garbage truck. Who's your fourth lance mate? I don't know yet. But he definitely works in the public sector and cleans up something to do with your refuse, human. And I don't know why I said that like I was a Ferengi, but you can tell sometimes my sci-fi things blend together. But on that note, I am really excited that I did finish a mini. It really goes to show that you can try and have fun, and not everything has to be some crazy, high-detailed piece like I want them to be. I had plenty of people in stream who were telling me that the model looks good enough, and they'd love the pilot dumpster fire and own the model, and that was a relief and made me feel good. I place a lot of emphasis on trying to be the best artist I can be. Sometimes being the best artist you can be doesn't always mean putting out the most detailed, crazy mini you can. Sometimes it means just having fun and being happy that you completed something and setting a goal and achieving that task. And that's what I did with him. I put a mini up on the stream, finished it as quick as I could, and it was a one streamer, and it looks okay. For Battletech terms, he's okay, but he's finished. Tabletop quality, maybe a little bit better. Like, he's good. Doesn't have to be a competition piece. He's done and is ready to blow up other mechs, and I think that is pretty cool. But on that note, I think we're going to end our ramble today. This has gone on long enough. Again, big shout out to all my Patreon supporters. I can't thank you guys enough for allowing me to do the things that I do. And if you're on the fence about helping support the channel, but you do want to see continued content come out, I do encourage you guys to check out the Patreon page. Any bit of support does help, and I've got some cool things on those tiers that I'll hopefully give back to you as a thank you for your support of the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ding the little bell so you get alerts when I put up new content. And if you haven't already, make sure you also check me out on Twitch. I do live stream over there if you don't already know. If you're over here, you probably do. And ultimately, if you want to continue to help support the channel and also get some cool products for your shelf, check out deathraydesigns.com. Coupon code GETAMPED10 will save you 10%, and a portion of the proceeds will go to me directly and help me to continue to produce content for you guys, which I love to do. On that note, folks, I'd like to thank you guys again for hanging out with me today. Keep painting those models, roll those dice, and I'll see you next time.